Every day when you're walking down the street, and everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
Con los terroristas.
You thought. Good evening, boys and girls. I'm Hykeem.
And I'm Vivianne.
And today we are going to talk about why study history.
Well, that's a very good question, Hykeem.
That is a very good question. The kids now need to understand about history and stop worrying about media and all this Harlem shit. I mean, that's really not relevant nowadays.
Yeah.
So, you're wondering why I'm speaking to you about history today. Well, I want to inform you on the reasons why we should study history.
So, first of all, we're going to start off with Mohandas Gandhi. Okay. So, Gandhi used a non-violent method to protest against the government with the Salt March, which allowed Gandhi to have followers follow him all the way through. So it wasn't just him talking to them, he was making a statement with his actions to get them there. He went on this march to exaggerate the situation in order to attract the attention from the public and not keep this as a personal issue within India. Gandhi was a spiritual leader that created peace and harmony throughout the community to unite as one.
That was very lovely. That was very lovely.
Thank you very much.
Well, now let's go on with the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was able to proceed when Martin Luther King Jr. and other famous figures had small steps to come to such a large movement. African Americans were tired from being mistreated by whites and wanted to stand for themselves. This movement was able to allow non-violent acts to partake as well as defense.
Well, that's a very good movement, don't you think?
I think that is, because with a lot of people now, I mean, Gandhi wanted he wanted to create peace and love throughout the world and throughout the communities, and with that would at least create a bigger and stronger but loving community.
Isn't that what MLK tried to do?
That is what MLK tried to do. We'll talk about him right now.
So, Martin Luther King was inspired by Gandhi before the commencement of the Civil Rights Movement.
And Martin Luther King, for a lot of y'all, took lessons from Gandhi to create his nonviolent methods for the movement to work on. So the question that y'all may be asking yourselves is, how does this connect? Well, there was a cycle of learning that everyone experiences before becoming future leaders of tomorrow. MLK was one of them. He may not have been able to pull off the Civil Rights Movement in the same manner without the aid of Gandhi, but the idea of his nonviolence acts has been passed down for over years, which allowed people not as violently towards each other, well, to not act violently towards each other, not as violently towards each other, well, to not act violently towards each other, but to at least love and appreciate each other.
And the idea of learning from history allows individuals to become wise, compassionate, and moral leaders who create peaceful, united communities for tomorrow. There is no individual who has been born with compassion and understanding. I know I didn't. Did you?
No, definitely not me.
I mean, compassion and understanding are characteristics that are inside everyone. You, me, them, anyone. Which allows anyone to become a leader for when they show their determination along with other characteristics for them to prove some positivity to their community to benefit the future.
And that is today's news with Vivianne and Hykeem. Have a lovely day. And that's today's history lesson.
Now we'll leave you to the Harlem Shake.
Con los terroristas.